Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the January 28th edition of Star Wars Headlines. I'm Rebekah Mosley, co-founder of LaughingPlace.com, and with me, as always, is Mike Celestino, the editorial director of Star Wars content here at LaughingPlace.com. How's it going, Mike?
Hello. It's a little chilly here, but I'm doing all right.
It's chilly and rainy up here. It had been extremely windy. I am grateful for the 70-mile-an-hour winds to have subsided.
It was supposed to rain today, but I don't think it's raining yet here in Southern California.
Well, that's good. Well, I guess it's that time of year you'd still want some rain, right?
So yeah, we can always use the rain.
Right, get a bit more. But there's a lot going on in the world of Star Wars. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I count on you to kind of keep me up to date because I can't always read all of it. There's so much all the time. So starting off, there was a new show apparently.
Yeah, so this is kind of the sister series to the This Week in Star Wars, or, the Star Wars show, which just ended at the end of last year. So now they've got the High Republic show, which is going to be a regular series kind of behind the scenes of the Lucasfilm Publishing multi-platform initiative called Star Wars The High Republic, which takes place hundreds of years before the Skywalker saga. And this week, for the first episode, they had behind the scenes of the VR game Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which had a little segment that took place during the High Republic era. And then they had a panel interview with some of the authors writing the High Republic books and comics.
Wow. Is this about is it an hour, a half hour?
I think this one was like 23 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
So a nice little
It was good. I liked it. And I've been covering the High Republic pretty exhaustively, but there were still some tidbits in here that I hadn't heard before. So I think it's worth watching. And I think they're going to be using this to release news here and there as well.
Oh, very nice. Now these new characters, is this a separate from the show, or were these part of the show?
So they did one of these in the High Republic show, and then they're releasing the other ones separately. They're little animations that kind of tell you about all the major characters in the High Republic, and they're pretty neat looking. They're pretty fun. Just another way to get people on board with this concept, I think.
And this is Avar Chris.
Yeah, I think they call her Avar. I think
Avar,
they pronounce it Avar, yeah.
Okay. And let's see, I was gonna pull up the report we have on it, and then we also had one about the villains of the series. Is that the appropriate?
Yeah, so these are the Nihil are kind of like marauders, although they evolve to other things as they go along. But pretty interesting villains that you can find out more about there on their own video.
What do they have a particularly unique or defining characteristic as villains go?
Yeah, well, they start out as pretty kind of disorganized and like completely amoral, but I would read that first novel, Light of the Jedi, and you see kind of how they evolve to being a little bit more of a threat. And they do have a particular bit of technology that it gives them an advantage over the Jedi and stuff. But I don't want to spoil too much about that if you haven't read the books yet.
No, I understand. I also, from what I understand the balance of being a spoiler and yet talking a little bit about the subject, especially when it's a book, because it can take you a little bit of time to get through these the volume of materials that are coming out with books and then comics and kind of all these different. It's an interesting time to kind of be a Star Wars discussion show, because it's where do you start to kind of release the spoiler free zone element.
Yeah, that's true. With the books, I tend to want to give people a little bit more time. The High Republic just started a couple weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago, and then there's another novel coming out on Tuesday, the second. Well, I guess the so there was an adult novel, which was Light of the Jedi. Then there was the middle grade novel, Test of Courage, and now the young adult novel, Into the Dark by Claudia Gray, which is my favorite of the three, is coming out on Tuesday. And then there's going to be a gap until the summertime before the second wave of stuff starts coming. So you'll have a little bit of time to catch up. But there's other Star Wars novels in between. The Alphabet Squadron series is concluding in the spring, and then the Thrawn novel, part two of that trilogy, is coming out. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Even without any live action stuff, it's a lot.
I was going to say, so that'll give you a time period where you can kind of offer more of a deep dive, analytical type discussion about it without having to, you can do a spoiler filled first wave of High Republic.
Yeah, that might be a good idea for sure.
You also reviewed a book that's kind of fits with this season of the year. We're approaching Valentine's Day.
Yep, I've got it right there. Star Wars, I Love You, I Know. And I feel like this book is designed to be kind of a last-minute, fun Valentine's Day gift for the Star Wars fan in your life. It's actually shaped and sized exactly as you would picture a Valentine's Day card, except it's a little thicker than a card. But there's even on the inside, there's the to and from.
There you go.
There, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the book is just a list of examples, a different example on each page of like a couple from Star Wars. Not just romantic couples, but friendship and family. Yeah, there you go. There's Han and Leia. They also did Anakin and Padme. Yeah, you've got some images there too. Poe and Finn as friends, and C-3PO and R2-D2 were in there. And then there were some funny ones too. Like one of my favorites was Krennic and the Death Star from Rogue One. So you don't think of that as a romantic relationship, but then she like pulls a lesson from each one. Like, how do we look back on these relationships and draw parallels to our own lives and existence here on Earth in our relationships? So yeah, it's just a fun. It's like $10. Pick it up on Amazon or wherever you buy your books for $10 as a fun Valentine's Day gift. And I'm actually going to be interviewing the author. I'm recording the interview tomorrow, and she's going to pop up on my podcast, Who's the Bossk, Star Wars podcast, and then we'll transcribe the interview and put it up on the laughingplace.com website as well.
And as always, I'd like to remind you, if you want to follow Mike, it's at Who's the Bossk Pod, and he does a fantastic Star Wars related podcast, and this year we'll talk about it a little bit later, but this year he's going to be diving into the history of Lucasfilm with some of his friends and colleagues. So exciting topics in store over at Who's the Bossk Pod, one of the Laughing Place podcasts.
One of the many Laughing Place podcasts.
And growing. Also this upcoming holiday, Love Pop. They do these fantastic like 3D dimensional cards, and they've got a number of Star Wars related designs this year. This is Han and Leia silhouette, and once again with the I Love You, I Know. And the way that these cards work, they have this dimensional design, but then they have a blank card part that you can slide out that you can actually write your note on. They also have this Death Star bouquet. It's an amazing. These are laser cut paper sculpts.
That's really cool, actually. That one's pretty fun. Oh, that's neat.
And then
that's like the end of Return of the Jedi flying. Oh well, no, because Chewbacca and gang are there. So
yeah, no, they've got all kinds of die cuts within there. They've got a stormtrooper flying a TIE fighter. They've got Han and Leia along with Chewie aboard the Millennium Falcon. So lots of fun, few X-Wings. But I'll show you my favorite. Are you ready, Mike?
Yes.
They also have like a Darth Vader one and some other ones, but this is the one that really caught. This is the one that really caught my eye. It's Yoda as Cupid, and his arrow is his lightsaber.
That's pretty funny.
So they're having a lot of fun. I think the bouquet is beautiful, and obviously they also have Marvel, Mickey Mouse, and whatnot. But we're a Star Wars show, so we're gonna focus on the Star Wars items that they have. So later this year, I think I think they said later this spring actually. USPS made an announcement regarding some Star Wars stuff on in the way.
Yeah, these are cool. I forget how long ago it was, but maybe 5 years ago they also did some Star Wars stamps, and I have them somewhere. I stopped by the post office and bought one of the sheets, and it was, it was like however many movies had come out at that point, they were all reflected in different stamps. But now these are going to be focused on the droids of Star Wars, which is great from across the whole saga. You got IG-11 from The Mandalorian, R2-D2 of course, K2SO from Rogue One, Dio from Rise of Skywalker, L337 from Solo, BB-8, C-3PO, Gonk Droid, 2-1B from The Empire Strikes Back, and Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. So that's a nice collection of droids.
And oftentimes with releases like this, then you'll see mugs or bags. They often will have other related merchandise. The Postal Service, so it will be keeping our eyes peeled to the postal website for any further supporting products that come out as a result of this. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I really hope they do, because I personally would love a R2-D2 stamp mug. So
that would be great.
That's what I would. That's what.
Or even like a T-shirt or a hoodie with that same artwork on it.
Wouldn't it be fun? Yeah. So they have done that at times in the past. Not every line that they do, but at times. So we'll see. Hey, it's that time in the show when Mike C talks about the latest comic he's read.
Oh yeah, so this week's comic book is Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 9. Now, I've said in the past that I don't look forward to reading the Bounty Hunters comic. I was getting tired of it, actually. I thought it was getting very repetitive. I never really cared for the art that much. But I liked this issue. I have to say, it was an improvement. It was a little different. It wasn't the same pattern of Valance shows up on a planet, then a bounty hunter shows up and they fight and he leaves, because that was happening like every issue. So this one, previously he had enlisted the Rebel Alliance's help in protecting this young girl that he was in charge of, this young ward, and in exchange he's now helping the rebels rescue this transport vessel that got stranded in deep space. And when he shows up there, there's the gang, the Onaka gang, Hondo Onaka's gang. Although Hondo is not in the picture anymore, the gang is being led by this other guy called Scrag, another pirate. And they have to go up against each other as Valance is trying to convince the rebels that he's on their side, first of all, when he shows up there, because they think he's just another pirate. So it actually opens with this flashback to Valance's time in the Imperial Academy when he was training to be a pilot alongside Han Solo, which we saw previously in the Han Solo Imperial Cadet comic book miniseries. So, you know what? I recommend this issue. I think it's getting to be interesting again, and I'm looking forward to seeing it continue finally. So, good job to the author Ethan Sachs and the artist. I actually like the art in this issue too by Paolo Villanelli. I think they're improving. I think they've actually taken some feedback as well, because there's a specific plot point in here that I don't want to spoil, but I think it addresses some very specific criticisms that this comic has gotten in months past. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Bounty Hunters is improving. So check it out.
Oh, that's exciting. Very cool. Well, I'm glad that to hear it's taken a bit of a turn for you, because I know that you were kind of eager for it, and then as it kind of went on, it began to be a bit of a trudge. So I'm glad that today's issue seems to bring like a little bit of a smile. So
yeah, no, oh boy, next week is 3 comics that it's actually 4, but I'm not going to be reviewing Star Wars Adventures, but we've got the main Star Wars title, Star Wars The High Republic number 2, and then Star Wars The High Republic Adventures from IDW that I'll be reviewing on laughingplace.com next Wednesday.
Wow,
so it's a big day for Star Wars comics.
Lots going on. And to remind you, if you want to keep up with everything that's going on here at Laughing Place, be sure to like and subscribe to this stream. Follow us on Twitter at Laughing Place. And that way you'll know when we're going live, because we go live a lot. And then Mike also, he writes up, most of our content here is based upon articles and reports that have been crafted for laughingplace.com. And we'll keep you informed over there. And then we come over here and we chat about it. In fact, like this, the Amazon exclusive merchandise that's come our way.
Yeah, this is cool. It's just a bunch of stuff. This is all themed to the planet Hoth. And you can see first of all, it's going to be skipping months for the first few months. And then later in the year, it's going to be once a month, which is odd. But I think they're going to be doing a different planet every time, is my guess. So we got Hoth for January, which makes sense because it's cold. And there's a pin set and some apparel and other stuff. There's that Han in his in the Hoth gear action figure, the Black Series action figure. And that pin set reminded me of the one that I got from The Mandalorian from the Amazon treasure truck. So this is kind of a similar idea. They've got Leia and Luke and the Wampa and the Snowtrooper, and then some stuff that says Hoth on it, and a Visit Hoth t-shirt. I like that. What is this? This is a t-shirt as well.
This is a t-shirt as well. It's the Wampa. It was the first time for me kind of seeing it on all fours. And I found that a very interesting choice.
Yeah, that's neat. I like stuff like this where you, at first glance, you might not even guess that it's a Star Wars shirt because it looks like something you might get at a national park or something.
Right. Yeah. For me, it evoked like something related to the Himalayas and the Bigfoot, stories. So yeah, when I first saw it, that's what I thought of. And then they've also got this collection of plush that are specifically based on the Hoth battle. So, of course, you have Luke in his orange jumpsuit and helmet with the red stripe and crest. So, cool stuff.
Cool.
Yep. Let's see. There's more merchandise coming out. We've got the Fan First Friday on the way.
Yeah, so this is big. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting up a little early. It's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. You can tune in on the Hasbro Pulse YouTube and the Facebook page. And they do this thing called Fan First Friday. So this is from one of the previous ones, these figures here. But they're going to be announcing some new toys, some new Star Wars toys. And I have a feeling that logo of the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm means we might get something outside of Star Wars, which would be very, very exciting for me if we got maybe an Indiana Jones announcement from Hasbro. That would be great. They haven't put out toys since the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, but for the Indiana Jones line. So that would be really neat. Otherwise, I mean, it is the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, so that logo I think is going to be on all the Star Wars toys that come out this year.
Of course. Let's see, Mike. We've also finally wrapping it up here.
Well, let's. I wanted to do.
I looked at my list and I was like, wait, I thought there was something else and I can't remember. Here we go, an unboxing from Mr. Mike.
Yeah, speaking of Hasbro, I had pre-ordered this the day it went on sale from Hasbro Pulse months ago. And it finally arrived. It actually arrived yesterday, and I haven't taken the time to open it yet. So I want to do it kind of live on this stream here. It's the Moff Gideon, Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch figure from The Mandalorian. There's the side there. There's the back. Yeah, it's got this nice new packaging. I'm going to pop them open right now.
All right. I'm excited. A live unboxing. We watched Mike Celestino wrestle with the packaging.
Yeah, it's always
pulling
tough.
The box apart.
Love the new action figure smell.
That's the best. Oh, seriously. Oh, so good. So good.
Boy, this packaging is very sturdy. I'll tell you that much.
I was going to say, he's in there nice and snug.
Yeah. Okay, so his cape is removable. Sorry.
All good.
We got the dark saber, and we got his little blaster.
I'll put you back on solo.
Okay.
There you
So There he is, Moff Gideon with the dark saber.
Ooh,
Which hand does he hold it in? His right hand, probably.
probably.
And then he's got a little blaster that I'm gonna put. One of my favorite action figure accessories is a working holster. So I'm gonna put his blaster in the holster here. My other one is the removable helmet, but he doesn't have a helmet, so it doesn't apply to him. But he does have a removable cape, and we're gonna put that on there. Very cool looking figure. And lately they've been doing the photo realistic scans of the actors' faces, so you get a nice likeness of Giancarlo Esposito there.
That does look impressive. Wow.
Such a nice figure. These latest few Mandalorian figures have been really nice. The last ones I got before this were Kuil, the Ugnaught, and Grief Karga, the Carl Weathers character. And
Now, he's jointed at the hip and at the shoulders and the elbows.
yeah, these guys have a lot of articulation. Yeah, the elbow, the wrist, the shoulder, the knees, the feet.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of articulation.
Garrigo said, "Nice toy."
Oh,
Yeah, but there's let me see if I can get him to stand up. Moff Gideon.
looking good. I like the way they did the edging of the dark saber.
Yeah, so I actually watched another YouTuber review this figure, and he showed how if you put a light behind the dark saber, it like illuminates the edges, which I got to figure out how to do that. Maybe I can. Well, I'll use my like iPhone light.
I
here,
agree, Juby. Oh, there you go.
if you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that on the
What if
shelf.
you shine it? What if you shine it from the tip, like down the blade? Does that accomplish it on camera?
No, it kind of has to be like behind it, but
Behind it.
yeah, I think there's got to be a good way to put it on display and have the light shining behind
What
it.
if it's from below, Mike? Would that give it to you? If you did it from below, then you like if you had like an LED base for it, and then it would illuminate. Especially if you had a dark background behind him. Wow,
right.
That's a great design. It's a brilliant idea.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I love it. Very, very nice. So, wrapping it up, Mike has got his Who's the Boss podcast this week, focusing on. Oh wait, here we go. Collecting. Thank you. Good. He's wishing you luck. I had bad luck. I purchased a Mandalorian figure with Grogu and the ice cream maker, which has a name that's not coming to mind.
Camtono.
And then I got an email telling me that my order was canceled. So, it was supposed to arrive like December 17th, and I didn't get the notification until January 11th that my order had been canceled. So now I'm stuck with secondary market or whatever.
Yeah, I've started now. Now I've started just ordering straight from Hasbro, which I think. I mean, you got to get there right when it starts. Like if it goes on sale at 1:00, which it will probably be due tomorrow when they announce the new figures, you have like 5 minutes or whatever to get it. But as long as you're there when it starts, you're good. So pay attention when they go on sale and show up on HasbroPulse.com, and that's a good way to get pretty much assured that you're going to get these figures if you want them.
I'll keep that in mind. In my case, I think it was more of an impulse, got caught up in the masses. I don't usually buy or collect them. So in some ways, I'm just happy to still have that $26 in my bank account and not weeping too much.
Well, what I used to do, I never used to buy them online at all because I would go to conventions fairly regularly. Like down in Orange County, they would have WonderCon or Star Wars Celebration or San Diego Comic-Con or whatever, and I would just wait. I would let them build up, and I would just wait and buy them at the conventions. But now, we haven't had any conventions for a year, so now I got to buy them through Hasbro, it's actually a little bit cheaper on the whole, I would say. Maybe not with the shipping, but roughly about the same what I was paying.
They need to let you put them all off to the side and then ship them out all together at one point and cut down your
Right,
shipping.
right, right.
But they keep releasing them just enough to where you can't quite qualify for free shipping, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that how that works?
exactly.
Well, this week on Who's the Boss, we're
Yeah.
talking American Graffiti.
Yeah, so like you said earlier, I have the Star Wars podcast for Laughing Place called Who's the Bossk? Bossk. And this year, all year long, we're doing a 50th anniversary retrospective of Lucasfilm because THX 1138 came out in 1971, so the company's been around for 50 years. And in this week's episode, the second episode of season 2 of Who's the Boss, we talk about American Graffiti, George Lucas's second film. It's an excellent, excellent film. And we do Star Wars headlines there as well, and anything else that comes up. So it's a fun time. Go subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Who's the Bossk Pod?
I will have to say that my joy of American Graffiti is in part due to the fact that I wore out that soundtrack. And so when Wonder Woman 1984 was on its way, I was anticipating a bit of that kind of soundtrack coming out of the film, and it didn't. And so I was just not because totally different director, obviously, and everything, but just in my own head, you know, I had thought of the joy of the kind of that musical period coming out, and so when it didn't happen, I was just disappointed. So American Graffiti was in my mind as I was watching Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the soundtrack is like wall-to-wall music from the late 50s and early 60s, and we were talking about it on the podcast that the budget for the film was $770,000, and $100,000 of that went to the, securing the rights for the music, which it doesn't seem to. It seems like a lot of money, but when you think about each individual song and how many songs that there are actually in that film, I think they paid like $2,000 per song, which is like totally unheard of, especially considering inflation. Even to this day, you would be paying a lot more to license those songs nowadays. But yeah, a lot of fun music in that movie for sure.
So finally, I want to suggest that you bookmark our Star Wars content. It's at laughingplace.com/w/tag/Star-Wars. And that's where you can find the various articles that Mike Celestino and our news desk craft regarding Star Wars news and information. It's a never-ending stream, whether it's new comic books, new series, any kind of tidbits or information regarding developing projects. We do our best to keep you up to date and informed on Star Wars. Doobie, I do not, my husband's right nearby, I do not have in front of me what else is coming up on Laughing Place today. I apologize. Do you have anything on that for me? Oh, Mike, you can share what is coming up. You are premiering a video here at Laughing Place.
Oh yeah, I just finished editing it. The news video, Laughing Place news update, all the Disney news of the past week will come online at 7:30 Pacific time this evening.
Awesome.
On the YouTube channel.
Thanks again for joining us here at Star Wars Headlines. That's it for today, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.